Now, one guy that's going to be at every game, and he's been at every game, is team photographer Gene Lauer. Now, this guy has been affected by COVID-19, just like all of us, but he's called an audible. He's calling a trick play, and he's still able to do what he loves to do. But he's not focusing on Fitz. He could be focusing on you. You could be a part of the game plan.
Getting the right shot takes dedication, focus,
now he's got the vision,
preparation, determination, and execution.
And the Cardinals block in the secondary.
When it comes to the NFL season and the Arizona Cardinals, Gene Lauer is always in the middle of the action.
Sports and covering it is my passion. It's what I do, what I live for.
Gene has captured some of the most historic plays in Cardinals history.
That Super Bowl, when he made that one catch across the middle, going for a touchdown, he came right at me, and I was just firing away. And the whole time I kept thinking, oh my gosh, I just nailed the most important shot of the game and the most important shot in Cardinals history. Unfortunately, the next 2 minutes played out differently, but I do think about things while I'm in the moment.
What's that like? What goes through? What does it feel like when you know you nailed it?
It feels like I made the catch.
But once the coronavirus came into the picture, like the aperture in his camera, everything closed as the country literally shut down.
It was devastating. I pretty much lost all my business being a sports and event photographer.
Putting an end to what Gene has been doing for years.
As the Cardinals team photographer for the last 20 years, I've always considered myself more of a historian than a sports photographer. So I really felt it was important to document the history of what's going on here.
So now, Gene is doing what he's always done with his photos. It's what he does best. Gene's getting creative and is literally capturing the moment.
I had to come up with a new plan. And so what I decided to do was come up with a series called Truck Stop Infrared. Because of social distancing, I wanted to maintain the distance. So I thought, what better way than not leaving my car? So I literally have strobe lights that I can pop out my back seat window, and then I shoot through the car, having my models come out to the grass, keeping at least 6 feet away, but it also framing it within the window of the car. And I just thought Truck Stop had that connotation of highway travel, and the infrared for the color of it.
And while COVID-19 continues to concern people with contagion and forced isolation, picture this: creativity becoming more viral than any virus can be, and connecting people all over the country, even from different countries.
I started, neighbor of ours had a 60th birthday.
Like Canadian Randy Kaminsky, who, like all of us, was ordered to stay home, and thanks to his creativity, following this order has been a piece of cake.
I think it's fantastic. There's never been such a resurgence in the arts these days. You can't find chalk. If there was film, probably you couldn't find that. Luckily there's the digital age for us photographers. But I think it's fantastic that the world is embracing things that they don't normally put themselves into.
It's really cool when everybody's reaching out for new ideas and new ways of communicating because of social distancing. And he's got such a good eye for what, with what he does. I'm hoping this will bring some kids out here and parents, and they'll walk over the bridge and it just have some fun with it.
And Gene's influence has flowed from the playing field to out in the field, as he passes on his knowledge and love for photography to a guy who gets paid to throw picture-perfect passes, in Cardinals quarterback Brett Hundley.
I love it, and actually Brett's come with me a few times on different photo shoots, and his passion for it is awesome. Like, I love hanging out with him because it rubs off on me.
Gene, man, I've actually started rapping with him since last year and getting to pick his brain and see how he does things. And then he calls me, he's like, hey man, I got this cool project, and I'm shooting in infrared, and I'm shooting people, doing things that they would normally be doing, but that they aren't necessarily able to do right now with social distancing and quarantine. And I was like, all right, I'm all about it. And just when he showed me the pictures, they're the coolest things I've ever seen.
Your style of play is obviously very smooth, but at the same time, it's not scripted because you're a guy that can scramble, create something.
Yep.
Is it sometimes where there is a play that's a blank canvas and you just got to create something?
Honestly, most of the time, most plays in football are like that.
Yeah.
You have a play and you say hike, and then you sort of figure it out from there. When everything sounds good when there's not guys rushing you in the face, and on paper, you just throw it to this guy. But when you say hike and you get punched in the face, like, we've heard before, you got, somebody rushing off the edge, Chandler Jones, if I'm supposed to throw this guy and I got Chandler Jones in my face, I'm probably gonna do something else. So, life is about that, and I think that's the cool thing about art and about photography is sometimes you just go and see what happens.
So regardless of how you channel this energy and creativity, focus on the big picture, that we will get through this, even if that light at the end of the tunnel is infrared.
That is the main part of the whole project, is that everybody in the world right now is seeing the world in a different light. Infrared is light that's invisible to the human eye. So with an infrared camera, I'm actually taking photos that are reflecting light that we normally don't see in a picture. So then, therefore, a reflection of society today. Well, I'm hoping to create a book out of this. I've already photographed about 45 different couples or families or individuals, and I want to keep growing. If there's anybody out there that has a story or something that they're really missing, let me know. Reach out to me.
So once again, Gene Lauer captures another major moment in Arizona history. Great job by Cardinals photographer Gene Lauer and our photographer Brad Gass. Outstanding job.